Hey!
They sleep inside my head, and if you haven't done the shadow work and left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Plus my decision is to walk with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We got protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no posse. Spola, worshiping pedophiles, wanna feed out children's spirits and robots. Turn all of us from carbon based to silicone based. Should be when the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Artists of some irrigation and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. What's my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released to represent with this answer to speak up. I've been doing 25 years and the beast comes. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Plus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to
what's up, beloved?
in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Chi-town, who am I the Chi-town? He's young fool, I'm too fly to just ride out blue sky, but high ground. A car slash helmet, so my ex still fit. Cabin tied down and even sheep belted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The witness of cash money, I just held it. You did the features in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked, the cause my hand, I dealt it. Felt the vibration from the gut of my pelvic. The bust office for ices and velvet shit. So radiant, I keep it down from welded. Cause you little goofies are well fit. Bodies from remarks, velvet. Body unites the Mars, your female split. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit. To a fly zone, haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the still in hand, but we're healer man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie. I don't follow. I set standards. Catch me, you're gonna have to do more to scamper. Need more to scanners. I'm off the radar. I am as your goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. Used stagnated, well I still evolve. At a rate, I'm dating space age to y'all. Busted stuck in the cage, face off. After a certain statements of fate, it's fraud. That'll start intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I run best. I excel like I'm climbing the stuff. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, who of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, adapt. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, straight to adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel or fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas Carol lies what your fans get. The rose and pearls what I transmit as a transcript. Or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people never get a piece of the pie. I don't want to go for the traffic. I go for you niggas that think that y'all don't get it too. I understand this. That's why you niggas and crackers can't stand me. You niggas just know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people, old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you.
Sure. Y'all really thought that I was done with y'all. Nah. I'm really down on y'all. Feathers up. We're not going
Back and forth about this one's that.
whether your word is bond or way.
It's a big fact.
Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau, mau, big man. Whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side.
Ooh, that's supposed to put.
Looking past the shine spot. Through that game, cyclops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's cold as an icebox. I'm saying that from the skybox. I got scope on you dudes. The scope with some rules. Some of our folks are still drunk. Death and blast in the fact that blood, we gon' have this real show. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page, script is played out. They keep us engaged, they keep arranged. This is played out. Rules of a dying society should have been disobeyed out. Forehead and knees off the floor should have been prayed out. The draft is on, COVID's no issue. Could've bloated in tissue. Now it's control who blows the whistle to who holds the pistols. The debacle's about who owes who the fiscal. Disregarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or wet. It's a big fact. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau, mau, big back. But the earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. Big foolish, know that it's speak. Yet if I don't speak, I speak. I'm other than we. Ain't never or me. Stand on 2 feet. One trip the other cheek. The wise man know by his science. Bushy disguise compliance. Science my guidance. From conspiring connivance. Other conspirers of violence. Trying to find. Trying their dreams to hate. I'm trying to find. And as far as the micros, I'm hearing the sirens. Nigga, my ear, they got indictments. These clarified words, Congress and Hyman. Alignments, the assignment. I'm not the wisest, I'm not climbing. Requirement and confinement, the requirements for this climate. Y'all push on the paperwork, or y'all can protest. But they can't escape this work. I vow to progress. No duck, no rap. Drill music for real. My soul they don't possess. Real foolish, make no deal. Ain't playing with none. It's personal, know what the business is. Big monsters come full circle, so vacate the premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or whack. There's a big fact. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau, mau, or big bang. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bond or wet. There's a big fact. Yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau, mau, big back. Whether earth is round or flat. We want our shit back. Akichiwa.
All truth is universal. It's something universal. Honor your mother and father. Want for your brother what you want for yourself. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
This rhythm is quite refreshing. That being said, let me to breathe on y'all for a second. Check it out. No need to look afar, but look afar. You agreed to put a scar on the foot of God. Wisdom of Tahotep from the book of Ra. Heals all wounds even after you took Ahmad. All praise is due, 21 guns to do. Lick shots at you whack rappers. I track actors, I track trappers down, place the ground, palm my head, spread my arms, share amongst the dead backpackers. Bring the royal back to life, back to reality. It's all about reality, not about a salary. For the love of this light, naturally, Mesoamerica with knees with bows and arrows be narrowly, barely escape sex grass. So carefully I trace my steps and ask Sharice true merity through grace. She accepts at last. This is why white Jesus wept at last. Unsparingly erase every bit of your history, similar to what you did to me. Couldn't get rid of me. You're a kid to me. My forebears swore theirs were raw for years. I spit, keep run the gas. Fast forward, I'm the last poet, last priest, the last airbender to smash beats. Let us all hell niggas, nug all netta. The living word without just some dead letters. Whether Anunnaki or Anasazi, the first Americans were not Africans, nor Nazi, Norsemen, Vikings, or some redskin tribesmen. Scientific proof, archaeology. So cosmologically, Caucasians lied about documented evidence with rocks cried out, wiped out from the top of Mount Sinai. I shout the land of our ancient Kemetic gods. Myself, my route from South America. We dare to sail back across the Atlantic through West Africa, where we return under the 29th Perla to Moreau, Nubia. This they're scared to tell, don't panic. I'm not here to overthrow but restore. 1, 2, 3, 4, when they fail to record. Even some of our renowned scholars detoured from off the seashore to flee war just to be more. The role of God is not for the dishonest man. Why does the sun stand still above the promised land? Well, after gunfire, there's plenty carnage, and then that whole day you have to pay homage. I am a descendant of the Amaru, Peru, Kurdish of the sun, Ani, Tahoe, Huru, assist the double staircase, balance of the two lands. Now if I can't do it, then tell me who can.
I'm about to bust Steve. I'm about to bust Steve.
Secret passages that people have to come through in order to make it successful in this entertainment business. Would you agree with that? I agree 100%. It's a lot of backdoor stuff. It's a lot of gatekeepers in that industry that will not let you come through that door. There's a lot of homosexuality. There's a lot of homosexuality and lesbians. Of course. You know what I mean? Of course.
Scoping out my exit from this matrix where market of promotion is on hatred and fake shit. Create my own wave, I don't chase shit. Most of what is the latest is tasteless, overrated. The young beef is beyond meat, plant-based. I can't wait to be on. So they risk catching a case with a plant in camps in the A-list. They want you in a play stripped on some gay shit. Whether prison or on some playlist, the agenda is the same. Your brain on a slave ship, sign your name on their dot, they got it. Now you famous, couple of dollars in your pocket and a chain to keep you anchored. You angered, deep down, so your soul can't reclaim it. You done tried to say shit, but really can't explain it. You had the means to do it, yet didn't change shit. Instead, you continue to entertain us with the same lameness as the rest of the entertainers whose job is to tame us. Simulation is designed to block, shame us. The enemy is even more faceless. Realize the ones that look like us are even more racist. The white man's not the white man. Some might say explain this. First enslaver was a melanated chomo and rapist, and his descendants for sure are your favorites in all facets of society. Yet what's the status to the sacred? Scoping out my exit from this matrix where market and promotion is on hatred and fake shit.
I'm about to bust their bubble, man.
I don't chase shit. Most of what is.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of good stuff, but still some ignorant American-born Spanish cats, and they just dumb. Not all. That's the beautiful thing. The majority of people of the world know. It's just the idiots here, man, are the ones that came here, born here, from Cuba. And, man, oh man, this is sad, pathetic. So I had to go into Margaret Sanger's Woman in the New Race. I didn't want to read that yet, because I want that to be like a, you know, a coup d'etat of the narrative. Andy, Marcus, Wavy, Delusions, Angeline, Muerta. What's going on, beloved? Some would say, well, you gonna be talking about my Costa Rican family? They darker than me. I'm talking for a whole, because we have an entire, I don't care about the light-skinned ones who matter, no, they matter. The ones that don't, I don't care about those idiots. The ones who are unaliving melanated, the ones who have been brought up in the raw iron of ignorance and stupidity, they are their own destruction. They're cowards. It doesn't matter who's in charge of it all or what. That doesn't matter.
Your self-confidence, the power that we have, and the power that we have in ourselves.
Stuff gets old, man. And again, I'm tired. So as you know, there are other ones out there, and yes, Cashapp has a little sugar, cane sugar, whatever. I still swear by it. Hell, I lost 50 pounds on it, so I'm not attempting to lose pounds, weight, but I mix it with ceremonial gold, chocolate. And instead of the 3 tablespoons, because it's high in caffeine, I usually add about a tablespoon and a half, and that's what I'm blending here, and about 12 ounces of water. I would prefer to use goat milk, but until I get some raw goat milk.
It's only talking about to suppress rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed.
I would read.
So
with that, that's why I got it. Not as a third, but I'm not going to do that.
The people who got any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
I would just like to see people get it together, man. And the ones out there murdering, unaliving people in the prison, whatever, the sheriff's riding around with the racists hanging and all that, they're dead. They might as well be like them soldiers out there in Ukraine. Back, you know what I'm saying? They might as well just have at it. It's going to happen anyway. Seriously. It's like a program. I don't advocate that, obviously. It's like I do a lot of theatrics, right? But I say theatrics because y'all are easily mesmerized or entertained. I don't want you to be easily mesmerized or entertained. I want you, I require, I need, you should need to want to research and find out. You know, not FAFO, but find out. Yes, I know some things. Things that y'all don't know. Hell, things they don't know. But it's not about that. It's not about that at all. I like when it's around my brow. It's not about that, you know? Appreciate that, and it's there. Thank you, man. Thank you, honey. Thank you. But I just want you guys to know that it's important. I mean, either you know your family or you don't. And there's been a very, very bad game played on all walks.
You know, everybody's like, if you taught that from school, everywhere, big business. You want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, push, step, crush. That's how it all is. And it's like, nobody ever stopped.
Gotta drink a little bit more of my tea. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that is so good. I put a drop of iodine in there. It's like a fine line. It's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, whoo, you know? Oh, they were spraying like crazy too. I'm not saying go and start playing platonic with what you already know, but it just shows you how gone they are. And they do it upon it's the mathematics. So I finally got all the music that I can use on YouTube Studio. I actually paid for music that is mainstream that I could utilize. Yet I just don't use that because I'm not commercial. And if y'all have music out there that you would like for me to play, sisters got singing that's not copyrighted, right, Maxie? I will gladly run it for a while. And what it does is you guys are easily conditioned. I know Total Z is doing a lot more. Omex ready to get in the studio. What we're building up here, the first platform is going to be a breezeway and 2 rooms. The next one, the 20 by 20, is going to be kind of like a two sleeper and a kitchenette and a room for gathering. 20 by 20, you'd be surprised at what you can do in section north rooms. And then on the side, that's going to be where we're going to build some like a form of I drew it down and with my pen and everything, so I haven't really laid it out on paper or on grid paper. Like a bathroom, like a 4x, where the fluids can be utilized for growing like greenhouse stuff. So I've looked at several different ones that I've done, and it's pretty large. So definitely gonna have to get a bobcat and dig up rocks and stones and boulders. But that's when we cross that and get the walls up. So the first thing here is in this week we want to get the bottom, start getting, because I have some R12 that's going to be in the base, all right, platform. I got some joist stands, so that way the middle is very sturdy. And once you start connecting things, it reinforces to become stronger. And once we put the plywood going across on the top and get that all screwed down with upper hangers and everything, that increases it. And then what we're going to use is, I'm not going to say to keep it hermetically sealed. Once we start getting the walls up and bolting the walls, which those are, as you know, studs, and then the upper parts will be the rafters. And this one, the rafters, based on the windage, which I'm studying as best I can, they change it all the time, to put it at an angle where the solar panels will be always facing the light, and then we can worry about wiring and technicalities and the batteries and all that stuff later. But behind that, 3 steps up, will be the 20 by 20, maybe 20 by 25, and then another 18 by 16 or 18 by 20 or 16 by 20. So whatever the size, because we don't want to destroy and kill trees. None of them ski. Life, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, the next part, compared to the rest that's going to be built around it, it's going to be very big. Yeah. I may do a drawing and then upload it, in the community. I hear all this stuff about don't do, for those who know, don't put it public. Don't do this. I don't care. I'm not here for the majority. And when people want to see, they come through. We got surfers and everything else, and you can share it with individuals. They find it. They get the notifications. That's it. You know what I mean? So whoever comes in, those are the benefiters. To me, the ladder and everything else doesn't matter. But that is going to be incredible. My self-reliance and about 3 to 4 other individuals, I watched them build this. And I don't want to order it, which you can. The size, I want to do the measurements. I want to do all the measurements myself and show other people. I want to do all the routing and this cutting of the parts and everything, doing the wooden dowels, the wooden glue, the healthy form, the treatment, and the assembly is going to have to be the most important, especially the way this is going to be built. And I want it to be like 2 levels in this. And this is going to take work. It's going to take fiat. Actually, it will absolutely be weekend and in the evening just to get some things done. And it's going to be fun. It'll be long after the monsoon. Heck, it might be into next season, into the fall and winter. Yet this is going to be fun. Once we get these walls up, we're going to be rolling like clockwork. Even if I'm up there just drilling and chiseling, you know what I'm saying, running a jackhammer or whatever it may be. We got to pick up some hydraulic concrete. So tomorrow, because today was that day, P-Day. I got to make some forms and stuff like that. And so tomorrow, probably my day sitting up there on top of the mountaintop, creating these forms, getting the stuff out, mixing up this hydraulic hardcrete and making these bottoms, digging out the shallows, getting those in place. And you know what I mean? And I will record a little bit. I know sometimes I let it record and I forget it's recording and it's like 12 and 15 minutes. I know in Cashapp or whatever, you can cut out a lot of stuff and then get rid of it. So I'll be doing a lot bit better with the editing and just instead of just putting it together and sending it to you guys. Okay? But I just want to get it. I wanted to share a few things. And you see the title. We still have this idea that black people exist. Now, what's problematic for me, what's created it, the foundation has always been entertainment. I haven't shared it. I haven't put it together. I have the interview with James Brown and the fact that he detested the term black. But because it was money and like Red Fox, he spun and it was lucrative to us whoremongering and he partook in it. And numerous other individuals, because I have a small little pamphlet on the terms that were utilized and what would happen if you used it. Up into the 60s, you use the term black, even at certain individuals over in Vietnam who never made it back, they would unalive you. So to think that the betrayal started as usual with the Gujars, Chazars, whatever, and those Negroes who partook and were affiliated with the sexual dysfunction of the organization of the Zionist narrative. And if you don't have those key words, how would you know to research? Now that you have those key words, research it. Now, the thing about a lot of our light-skinned brothers and sisters, sadly, with the orphans and the Cabbage Patch Babies, that was sadly, not with all, but majority, a lot of, during the Catholic Church and everything, that was a big proponent of all those perversions. My Mexican brothers, who was your first emperor and only emperor? He was a Gujar. Do y'all know his name? Right now, it seems like every country has a Zionist or a Jew, regardless of what's being painted and done. The leveling up and giving up free information. That emperor was to destabilize the original people of the land, as it did from Costa Rica all the way up. From feudalism and everything, and subjugate the people in a certain corral them into certain lands, and then dynamically over a 50-year period rewrite their history. And that's why I tire of so many of my Spanish brothers and sisters, Spanish, that's what y'all say the language, Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters. Y'all are very ignorant. You disrespect the feudal bloodline that gives you the strength. And then your absurdity is to run to the novellas and everything else of the whitewashing as to be accepted because your hair is straight. Excuse me, there are millions upon millions, if not hundreds of millions of Afro-Latino, Afro-Indigenous, whether the Cayman Islands. You see how they pretty much whitewashed damn near all of the damn Haka people, right, with the Haka dancing, right? I don't even want to get into Hawaii. All of a sudden now Hawaii's had Japan, Japanese, and all these different other presidents, leaders who have no tie to the land because it's under military rule. And what they've done, what they did to the actual and autochthonous queen and king of that land back in the early 1900s. It is a sick perversion, not diversity, that y'all could come on my ancestral republic, the land that my ancestors found. That was not Mexico. The Louisiana Purchase happened in 1904, 1920, whatever it was. Just like Alaska. And the people were left there and pardoned to be given entitlements as to be so-called indigenous or native to the land, and when they weren't. I'm so tired of the ignorance. And I'm grateful that so many are speaking the truth when we're all family. And some accept me because, no, stop it. My Costa Rican bloodline doesn't make me Spanish. That's a language. Latino, stop it. I have more respect for the raza than anybody as far as the bloodline. Chinos, it tells you exactly who they are. And people still want to usurp and come across not just borderline encrypted crazy, but thinking it's fluid. As if in these times, when things are being revealed left and right, as if being stuck in this purgatory of perversion and hate, condescending, and resentment is supposed to mean something. It doesn't. It means you're in. That's what it means. It's sickening. Many shades have been on these lands. Many countries this land is. And because y'all don't know it, you run around in this platonic relationship with the enemies that y'all vehemently say that you have disdain for and hate, while at the same time running around in the moniker of their existence. That is utter delusion. That is utter delusion. I have so much respect for my Peruvian brothers. You know what they call it? They have a thin gold thread of line that when they walk, y'all know the tradition. All right? That is teep from the Choctaw people. Which funny is how it got lost in translation. Accepted and practiced by those not the descendants of the Choctaw. The Choctaw don't originate in North America. With some of the founders. Chickasaws of the division, Albert Pike, you know, Satan, who brokered peace because we were killing so many of your peoples. First of all, Española. I've been to Barcelona, Madrid, you know, all over Spain, okay? All over. Whether the Navy or out. So many comrades and friends and brothers and sisters. Okay? Who know the truth that the original people there were Negroid. But because they were conquered, you don't even know that the Berbers were more Etrian than anything. Fighting each other. There were no light skins. That was later on once the conquering was done. And then they established rape and this, that, and other, all these younglings. What they call it intermarriage. It's mind-boggling how y'all have no idea about this, even though it happened not too long ago right here. You know how many books there are on whitewashing, the history of it? Who created it? Who are the proprietors of it? The people who are in every country and control of everything, sacrificing everybody to bring the numbers down to where they can control it with their hidden armies. And yet y'all run around, drugs, this, cartels, that, gangs, this, that, politics, as if that is the a means to the end. Are you aware, by way of the Zionists and the Vatican, those Zionists too, that they operate on a functionality of a mathematical prowess of humanity, right? Let me see if I can pull up the documents. Because I don't like this talking about stuff, okay? Documents, downloads. So they have, as you can see here, let me scroll down a little bit. So they have these numerical texts. All these are different things based on the Torah, the Talmud, this, that, and other. Let's just tap onto one. These are PDFs that I read a lot of times. Mathematical laws and the concept of fate. Okay? See that? Okay? Now, I was just reading this a little while ago. And when you get into it, you start realizing that by the narrative of Yiddish, you start looking at the mathematical laws, determinism, and predictability, and you get into the fate, philosophical, and metaphysical, all right, perspectives, and then you get into the overlap between mathematical laws and fate. What is fate? Who designs fate? You're eternal. You are forever existing, but you buy into the physical narratives, and that destroys the truth and further supplements to you to the illusion. So it puts you in their timeline of existence. All right, so let's go into another. Let's pull up another one. All right, we'll pull up maybe 3 or 4 of them. Hold on. All right, so this one is Numerical Secrets of the Bible. How many of y'all are pretty hip to that? Numerical Secrets of the Bible. How many of you actually? It's phenomenal. Okay. Now this is by Casper J. Labuschagne. Numerical Secrets of the Bible, rediscovering the Bible codes. That's based on what? By what time? It's a 21st century thing. 20th to 21st. when you start when you're dealing with the Bible press, the very people that publish satanic Bible and verses, the King James, the very same individual. The ones who want to have one world religion and be controlled in their context, whether it's pedophilia, whatever it may be. Y'all still run around in delusion. I know a lot of you partake in it. Not y'all, per se, but individuals. And when you get down here and you get into the context, you start dealing with counting Hebrew letters, words, and verses of Jewish traditions. That is not the true Judeans, the true Ishmaelites, not those of Jerusalem. That is the new narrative as painted by Benjamin, the Facts of Facts, or Arthur Kessler, and about a plethora of other rabbis who have succeeded, become Christians and Muslims, whether German and Irish or not. Why is it that flees y'all? Because it's not feasible? How can anything be feasible in those with the less capacity of mental aspirations of truth, but desire to stay in this constraint of a limited physical existence? Then you look at some significant numbers in the Bible. When you start looking at a new awareness of the significance of numbers in the Bible, as far as explicitly the mentioned symbolic numbers in the Bible, like when you're dealing with the Old Testament and the number 7 and all that stuff, why is 666 played out the way it is, when a lot of people are starting to be, who have become aware that 6 neutrons, electrons, and protons, they had to hide everything in front of you. Well, what's very deployable, I'm seeing people make these comments, and I share some, say, look at the comments, and I'm not cursing them or condemning or damning them, but you see the ignorance. It is so sublime. Converts, yes, hon, yes. And it's like, how do you equate that with mathematics, when even mathematics has to have error? This is not solid stuff. I told y'all every time you look up, right? Whether it be the IDP, right? Right? Remember, projection, right? Of the dome. Or whether it be created by them, is to have a timeline to tell a story. Whether it be forward or reverse. Most of you don't know nothing about that. The fact that when you look at the moon, you see a reflection of the earth. And you see the outer lands, they just try and say is look at the little band on the moon, and the natives say that's a, you know, I mean, you know the whole that it's unbelievable. And then you have the consortium of those who would push things to still hide it in front of you, because you will never look at these things. It's too much. Because you know, when you go into the education system, it makes you a minimalist to acquire what they laid out and then go, oh, look where I'm at. That's the whole purpose. So you won't seek any further. You won't reach no further. You'll stop there and go up, and you'll be settled. That is an obedient slave. That is subservient. That is not the expansion of your mind, your truth, or anything. That is a collusion with your own detriment. Let me say it again. Examples from the 4 Gospels, more examples from other books of the New Testament, which you should know about the New Testament. Do y'all know what the word a testament is? Let me give you my testament. Now, I have a story to tell, no testament. I already explained things about you, about my so-called physical life this time around. When you look at clusters and series of 7 divine species, and when you're looking at 7 plus 4 equals 11, right? The pattern and the pentateuch. Nobody knows that. All right? Just like the secrets of the hidden sacred number 17 and 26, even in the frequencies of things. Hold on. You can even go to the DoD Manual 52040-01 and the procedures governing the conduct of the Department of Defense intelligence activities, and you would be amazed to see the rift of information that is played out. That if you know what you're looking at, you will see beyond it. You can even go into the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Freedom of Information, Privacy section, cover sheet, the subject, Christian Identity Movement. And you'd be amazed at, forget what's redacted, and you'd be amazed at what you find. But you think I was going to sit up here and read all this stuff to you? No, sources, references, puzzle pieces. The fact that Trump is in office, I don't hate that man. He meant the business. He's old now. So, yeah, buy him out, do what they need to do. He's always been part of the game. Y'all chose your fate, just like these idiots who keep running around now being hardcore liberals who don't know the first thing about liberalism. So yeah, if I was Trump, I'd be setting you some bitches up because you show that you don't care about life, you don't want to live, you like being programmed, and the aficionados of it. We're gonna be reading the Outer Dome Project, right? We're gonna get into chapter 27, the dome theory and the cellular theory. But I have a new book that I wanted to open for you guys that came today, along with a couple other things. I was surprised they didn't have today off, which I don't even know why it's a holiday. Oh, I am so elated to have this. That means I don't have to go dig out the old one. I'm not done. Cherokee Bill, the black cowboy Indian outlaw. He wasn't black. He was an autochthonous original person of the land. Just like every other family, if you go back 13 generations, tell me how many great 13 times over grandparents you have. Most of you don't even know how to do the math. So break out your computer, break out your laptop, break out your calculator, and you do the crunching. Now, what I want to read first before I get into the dome is I wanted to read Woman and the New Race by Margaret Sanger. So I'm going to skip a few things. We'll read it all in its entirety when I match it with 3 other books. But I just wanted to go to chapter 3, the materials of the new race. I think you're going to find this very pertinent. If you have a pen, if you have a calculator, if you want to crunch the numbers, and you really want to pay attention, now we know there's a lot of hijack going on, but there's going to be some things that speak volumes. All right? Let me get this one more time. I'm letting the dark chocolate melt. Oh, that is going to be so delicious. Okay. All right? Now, this is about 8 pages. I ain't reading all of it. I'm going to read key points. I'm not going to skip anything to make it fit a narrative I want you to see. I'm going to read these paragraphs in their entirety in succession. Okay? Yay, Kane Johnson, Lucy Rose. What's going on? Appreciate you all. I really do. All right, so let's get this in, okay? Number of love, number of respect. All right. So anyway, check this out. The materials of the new race by Margaret Sanger. Each of us has an ideal of what the American of the future should be. We have been told times without number that out of the mixture of stocks, the intermingling of ideas and aspirations, there is to come a race greater than any which has contributed to the population of the United States. A dead thing, and a dead entity. That means subservient. Citizens of a foreign ideology. What is the basis for this hope that is to generally indulge in? For this, hope that is so generally indulged in. If the hope is founded upon realities, take it easy. Jesus Christ. As long as you can hear me. If the hope is founded upon realities, how may it be realized to understand the difficulties and the obstacles to be overcome before the dream of a greater race in America can be attained? Now, I would do it outside. It's nice. But the wind may chap over and you might not hear me. In here, at least it bounces off the walls. Okay? To understand the difficulties and obstacles to be overcome before the dream of a greater race in America can be attained is to understand something of the task before the woman who shall give birth to that race. It didn't say white, black, or anything. Pay attention. There's a reason why uterus was stolen in Detroit. There's a reason why women were being hunted down by Zionists for their DNA, for their eggs. And men robbed of their sperm, their testicles, and the melanateds umbilical cord, and placenta, to which our ancestors never gave over to no institution, but we kept as a family heirloom and buried beside oak trees or spruces. What material is there for a greater American race? What elements make up our present millions? Where do they live? How do they live? In what direction does our national civilization bend their ideas? What is the effect of the melting pot upon the foreigner once he begins to melt? The foreigner. Are we now producing a freer, juster, more intelligent, more idealistic, creative people out of the varied ingredients here? Before we can answer these questions, we must consider briefly the races which have contributed to American population. You already heard the hijack. You know the narrative to paint a different picture because Margaret Sanger was just as ignorant as any one of you. Among our more than 100 million population are Negroes, Indians, Chinese. Well, we're very aware of the Chinese didn't exist until when? And the Indians, when you look at the Know Nothing movement or the Native American movement, what they come from as far as Wild West show in 1909. So anyway, and the Negro is not African. They are scripted under religion's dichotomy. That means Ham, the virginity of the dark races, yet not the Negro. Is the Negro something else? And other colored people, and other colored people, to the number of 11 million. Among our more than 100 million population are Negroes, Indians, Chinese, and other colored people to the number of 11 million. There are also 14,500,000 persons of foreign birth. Besides of foreign birth. So does it dismiss the Chinese of our land? I told you about the sheep people. The original people worldwide. They want to corner off into some place in Africa as if that's their original place when that was not. When, please. Anyway, persons of foreign birth. Besides these, there are 14 million children of foreign-born parents and 6,500,000 persons whose fathers or mothers were born on foreign soil, making a total of 46 million people of foreign stock, 50% of our population of the native white strain. Of the foreign stock in the United States, the last general census compiled in 1910 after 1909 shows that 25.7% was German, 14% was Irish, 8.5% was Russian or Finnish, and 7.2% was English, 6.5% Italian, and 6.2% Austrian. The abstract of the same census points out several significant facts. The Western European strains in this country are represented by a majority of native-born children of foreign-born or mixed parentage, mulattoes, Melungeons. Benjamin Franklin said what? Okay, let's carry on. I want you to really listen and pay attention. Even in telling the truth, they F up so much. This is because the immigration from those sources has been checked. On the other hand, immigration from Southern and Eastern Europe, including Russia, like Belarus still anyway, and Finland increased 175.4% from 1900 to 1910. During that period, the slums of Europe dumped their submerged inhabitants into America at a rate almost double that of the preceding decade. And the flow not hundreds of years, the thousands. And the flow was still increasing at the time. The census was taken, so it is more than likely that when the next census is taken, it will be found that following 1910, there was an even greater flow from Spain, Italy, Hungary. There's a lot of Hungarian Mexicans. Austria, Russian, and Finn. There's also Lebanese Mexicans. There's also Iranian Mexicans. Any of y'all ever talk about that? No, only I do. Because I know them. And other countries where the iron hand of economic and political tyrannies had crushed great populations into ignorance and want, war, and made the people stupid so they can write their own narrative. Whitewashing of history. These people have not been in the United States long enough to produce great families. The census of 1920 will in all probability tell a story of a greater and more serious problem than did the last. And they utilize that, these Gujars. Over 1/4 of all the immigrants over 14 years of age admitted during the 2 decades preceding 1910 were illiterate. Of the 8,398,000 who arrived in the 1900-1910 period, 2,238,000 could not read nor write. There were 1,600,000 illiterate foreigners in the United States when the 1910 census was taken. Do these elements give promise of a better race? Are we doing anything genuinely constructive to overcome this situation? 2/3 of the white foreign stock in the United States live in cities. 4/5 of the population of Chicago and New York are of this stock. The foreign race, y'all. More than 2/3 of the population of Boston, Cleveland, Detroit, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, Newark, New Jersey, City, Providence, Worcester, Scranton, Patterson, Fall River, Lowell, Cambridge, Bridgeport, St. Paul, Minneapolis, and San Francisco are of other than native white ancestry. Of the 50 principal cities of the United States, there are only 14 in which 50% of the population is of unmixed native white percentage. Now I have a book that reads the same about Mexico from around the 1890s to the 1940s. Another thing that's been usurped. In order to be a king or a queen in these lands, you must be of original stock. So the first president in Mexico was who? And who founded LA? And they succeeded in finding Colorado, to which they didn't find. It was renamed, changed. There's a reason why I mentioned over San Martin, Negro Lake, Negro Trail, Negro Mountain, and this, that, and the other. Same thing went on down there. They changed that. So you deny the bloodline that makes you and gives you quality. You murder it in ignorance because of religion, those who don't care. And then you subjugate yourself to cut yourself, to chastise yourself. I don't believe in no goddamn border wall. But I know that they put that up there to let y'all frivolously come here so they can bring in the foreign fighters, the ones trained by Delta and others, to equip them. That's the reason why the bastards want to try and remove the Second Amendment and everything else. And that's why you see the monkeys at play, and all you light-skinned folks are just giving into it. Everything they do is like a genetic flaw put in you. And those are the lighter of the wheat stock. But nobody wants to pay attention. You want to all kill your own relatives. Before you even learn what it is to live. And just because you've been watching me don't mean you're going to learn. Even the idiots on the other side who are watching me, who are subjugated, they don't know the first thing about so-called this term or word, life. I tire of that word myself, but to keep y'all, okay? Let's go ahead, and now that I've done that, I hope it's indicative of a handful of changes, because it's steep perversion. Another thing, I am tired of you Africans utilizing our people when you don't even know that you might be from these lands over here. And just because you talk mumble bumble, whatever the hell, does not negate or legitimize the fact that you have to still use us. So be more respectful. We are not African, and neither is the majority of you. Chapter 27, the dome theory and the cellular theory, the structure of the universal worlds. And I don't want to hear about the brother that is utilizing energy. There's energy all over the friggin' place that y'all could tap into if y'all would stop being so lazy. Learn how to make magnets, how to make kilns and powder rocks and extract metals. It's all around you. Instead of weaves that is destroying your hairline, perms, and the makeup, which is the most saddest stuff. None of it's natural, like our ancestors who first created you. You're better off with a hot comb, a little mineralized, purified water with minerals in it, added to it, lime, coconut, MCT oils, a fat. That's how our people kept their hair straight, wavy. And a lye, taken from seashells and certain rocks that are easy to extract. See, a lot of y'all don't know this. You run around with the friend, I forget his name, taking these Photoshop pictures, making the natives into think they're indigenous. Stop it. You're being a disrespect and dishonor to the true bloodline of yours that may have been here. Chapter 27, the dome theory and the cellular theory, the structure of the universe of worlds. An interesting perspective that I should mention, and that I had also mentioned in previous books, is the one that compares the structure of the IDP with the cellular theory. Look into the cellular theory. Mainly because of how they are structured and function in complex systems. Although one could find some connection in that apparently autonomous components are integrated into a larger system, it is flawed. It's flawed in suggesting that they would be functioning together in a coordinated manner and maintaining life and order within their respective domains. Since it is known the exploration of its inhabitants from each dome world or cell matrix to other surrounding and distant domes. Anyway, it is interesting to begin to study these complex structures, analyzing that they could be part of a larger, much more complex system. Now they have a picture here, which is pretty nice. I would actually like to maybe one day have a big piece of canvas and paint my own portrait of what it may look like. But I will hold this up and just light it up enough where you can see this. It's quite beautiful. Wouldn't you say? That is marginally magnificent. Is that not beautiful or what? Was it too high? Let me hold a little lower. Is that not beautiful? Is it or is it not? Look at that. It's like the cellular structure, DNA, nucleic web. Do you get where I'm coming from? A frequency, not despondent but responsive. Okay. The cellular theory indicates roughly that all organisms are composed of cells. Now you know why I mentioned organisms earlier in this, right? Okay. The cellular theory indicates roughly that all organisms are composed of cells, that they are the basic units of life. Each cell is delimited by a membrane that regulates the exchange of materials in its environment. Wow. Anyway, and the new IDP theory postulates that each dome world functions as a basic unit within a larger system of dome worlds. Sounds like a laid out computer chip, doesn't it? Each dome separated by membranes or barriers, similar to ice walls and other complex domes, that could be considered analogs to cell membranes in their function of separating and protecting the environment. What happens in the body when it gets a virus? You get these white blood cells, right? The fact that your blood is not red but very dark green. And once it reaches the surface, it kind of becomes blue. It augments. Some even leans to say in the brain and in the lower extremities, your blood is dark as black or oil. What if I was to say that may be factual? Because it's practical. Anyway, from the earth, are you not? And when I say the earth, I ain't talking about what they've given you. The water of life, your tears, the blood that runs through you, as dark as the oil, the mud, the sand that compiles and makes you. Then when you solidify, you become like the Himalayan pink rock salts of the old ancient giants under pressure, mineralized to a point. I'm only pointing these out because a lot of you fried chickens and you look in the bones, you break for the marrow and you see that it has also done the same thing. But you don't pay attention to it, do you? Each dome separated by the membranes or barriers similar to ice walls in parentheses and other complex domes that could be considered analogs, that is some computing stuff, to cell membranes in their function of separating and protecting the environment. Now, the cellular theory, membranes control what substances enter and leaves the cell by maintaining a stable internal environment suitable for cellular life, like a computer board. Now, in IDP, the domes control the flow of information. Is that not networking? Internet? Anyway. And environmental conditions within each dome world and your conditions when they're messed up, how everything operates. It dysfunctions, right? The chemicals and everything, because your body is missing copper and zinc or magnesium and this, that, and other. Therefore, you cramp, your memory foggy, your eyes act up because selenium, all these things that are being disruptive so they can break your immune system down, which is your vital, the matrix, the thing that keeps you composed and functioning, so that way they can attack you with a virus. Now, condition within each dome world, your own dome, ensuring that the conditions within each are optimal to maintain the desired version of reality. A lot of you are outside your reality. In this case, I know what you saw. You watch me match it to you, and you should pay a little quaint attention to what I'm doing. In this case, under the manipulation of the custodians, with the implementation of the invisible dome projector, you have to paint the illusion. The cells, because what you think, you manifest. The cells in a multicellular organism not only exist independently, but also communicate and cooperate with each other, allowing the organism to function as a whole. Whoa. In IDP theory, each dome world may appear autonomous. Y'all seem like you're all, the mold was broken, right? Y'all move with the same cracked lamp on top of your head and functioning dysfunctional. And I reached on that earlier. I said, step out of it, right? Give in. Help a brother out. I use me as an example of what I'm doing. And I get one donation. Well, somebody donated. Appreciate you. And somebody hit me on here. But I use it as an example. I wasn't forcing your hand. Because a lot of you think you're in control and you're not. And I could say something and have everybody going cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm not here to do that. Everyone has a choice. I want you to pay attention to how this applies to you. Not because it was genius. Anyway. World may appear autonomous and there is likely to be a level of independence and regulated communication between them, possibly through technologies or protocols established by the custodians to maintain a cohesive order. Now, the prospect of belonging to a larger organism is intriguing. That means that would be all of us walking side by side, wouldn't it? Just as cells are fundamental parts of a larger organism, each dome world could be seen as an integral part of a larger entity. You always cry for one God, whether it be the five masters or whatever. But y'all don't move in concordance or accordingly. Leading us to reflect on our own significance and the role we play within this system. If we consider each dome as a cell in a larger organism, the question then arises as to the purpose and nature of the whole organism. Are we living in a constructed reality that serves purposes beyond our comprehensions? What is the ultimate purpose of this vast organism? Does that kind of sound like out of the natural? Something manipulated? So here's a representation of cell theory and dome worlds. I want you to look at this, and it's magnificent. This is awe-inspiring. Makes me want to get back to painting. I can't yet. Well, I could in here, but no. Is that majestic? Is that beautiful or what? Look at that. My goodness, that is just phenomenal. That is just so beautiful. And in chapter 28, year 1729, repopulation of the continents. And we'll be getting into that tomorrow. Okay? And I thought that y'all would find the beginning interesting for those who hold on to your narrative, whatever it may be that has been painted before you. And if you hold that and you hold it to be your truth, then so be it. Everyone has choices. Wasn't beating you up. I was expanding on something because you all move like expatriates of your true existence. So you move out in the outside consortium of your reality. Okay? In my opinion. All right. Hey, Charles Johnson, Lucy. Let's go. Jesus, all right in the book. Wavy, West Africa, Liberia. You're definitely right. Appreciate it, beloved. T-Bone, you must be up top. Sometimes, listen, you ain't got to write a whole booklet, baby girl. Just relax. But it's interesting, and I respect that. I can't read everything. I usually go back later and read everything. Oh, Mac. Yeah, salute. What's going on, beloved? I know it feels good when you hear this, right? Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you all. And there's nothing wrong. No, I like to go and read it all. But just go easy so everybody else, you know what I mean? I know it's a driving factor and it's like, yay. Relax. Right? Our women are very emotional and they need not be. You need to take it in. Don't tell too much. And let yourself be guided. And then take over your own stubborn reins and guide and ride along. Relax. There's so much more. Okay? Level Planet Productions, what's up? All right, guys? I appreciate y'all. Yeah, Kurmia was on for a couple hours, man. He was planting this tree. Magnificent. I didn't say nothing for a while. I just was watching. My thing is to salute and salutations to everybody. That's why I say sidanelv, or sometimes Jah, because it's my beautiful family. I respect all walks, okay? And yeah, and it's great because I like to go back and I like to read everything. But in here, everyone's a voice, and everyone is heard, and I get it, and it's actually majestic and beautiful. Sometimes we have to have control because they're in control, and when you're giving up your rights and when you start taking them back, you lose control. We don't want to do that. Okay? You're a beautiful soul. All of you are. So anyway, I was going to do some shooting. It's windy as black. Record some quick drawing. I want to bring out my 6-shooter and do a couple of feathering. Bing, bing, bing. I still haven't repaired the friggin' thing. I got the bolts here to take out there. And Chinese-made bolts. Nothing against my Chinese brothers and sisters, but quality. Americans stop allowing poor quality to make these bastards rich so you can complain with poor craftsmanship, okay? Yeah, these bolts right here. Oh my goodness. I showed y'all yesterday. I bought a bunch of them because I knew when I saw they were made in China, and I was not surprised that Craft, the people behind it, would purchase the crap instead of having their own forges and forge their own quality like we would do. That's why I would like to forge my own stuff. Something like that from around hitting a target should not be busting the lid off. It's just pathetic. That is garbage. But I told you that's what the Zionists did. How are they still spraying chemicals and doing the dumb stuff they do? Because you're not walking in truth. You're all divided all over the place. You don't know what you're talking about. You still listen to goofs talking about Jesus and this, that, and the other. Not knocking. If you want to walk in that light, walk in it, but stop pushing on people, but that's the hypocrisy about it all, because everybody's looking outside themselves, not inside. And then when they say they're inside themselves, they hijack and they tell you a bunch of lies. And a lot of you, because you're ignorant and you don't know the truth, you run with it. And sometimes when you let go of religion, you turn to the dark side. Sounds like Star Wars all over to me. I can walk you through each one. The Republic, the Rebellion, blah, 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 right? And what is the main key right now in the focus by the enemy? To kill all the Padawans. To keep you further disconnected from the metachlorians. And Ganja and Tia tell you, I showed them how to see beyond the blue, see beyond the light, to see everything is like a molecule. Am I lying? I'm not lying. When you really start looking and seeing, everything looks like little black and white dots. And you can manipulate them. I'm telling you. I'm speaking on facts. That's why I keep letting them know to stop. I asked them, I told them, and I warned them. Now they go put that in their goddamn computer. I'm not here to stop nothing, but they're stupid. Appreciate you guys. I still might go down here. And you know where I stand with you guys, all right? All my walks, my beloved women, all around the world, you are the strength. Men, you are the factor, which is what? The power. You have the strength and the power, right? And what is that? Is that a closed circuit? See, y'all think that strength means, I want y'all to see my biceps. I want y'all to credit, and I want you to see the vascular and the structure of my. Well, you know, I'm not as defined as I used to be, but you know, that's not what it is. That's their illusion. Okay? And I appreciate you all.